Consistent self-improvement, everybody. I am Klaccik Carpenta, and you are listening to American gypC Podcast. This is episode 1 of season 2, and I am here with my co-host,
gypC.
As you can see, we are filming from 2 different rooms now, and a lot of you may know what happened in the past dealing with our old podcast, but we are going through, a couple of switching, a couple of changes, just switching it up just a little bit until we're back in one room recording. So until then, we'd like to thank you guys for sticking with us. And this is episode 1 of season 2. We're going to get right into it. This year, we're starting it right off with cryptocurrency. So I'm late getting into it. I'm sure a lot of you are pretty late getting into it as well. And gypC was one of the first 2 that I know personally to get into it. And she is now educating me more on cryptocurrency, and I call it the hold my hand method. So you'll hear us say that in the future about certain things, but for now I like to let her introduce herself and how she got into cryptocurrency. Tell them about
you. How I got into, I thought we were supposed to be talking about the okay. So how I got into cryptocurrency 3 years ago, I think it was when 3 years ago in 2017, Bitcoin had a
4 years ago, it's 2021.
4 years ago. Bitcoin had a rally. It went up to like 11,000 or something like that. And, it started popping up on the news, and so I started looking into it and buying some. Back then we were getting ready to move to Los Angeles and had to save some money, and I figured instead of saving money, it would be better to save it in the cryptocurrency space. So, basically you get a better return than a savings account. So I started putting into Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA. From the beginning, I was big into altcoins. So I was big into ADA, which was just starting off in 2017. There was a few other ones. Some of them are not doing as well right now, 4 years later, but that's how I got into it anyways. So ended up cashing out at the time, but I had a good flip, and then told myself I would get into it. And 3 years later, I got into it more recently. And yeah, that's my cryptocurrency journey. And we'll be talking a lot about, and I still invest a lot more into altcoins than I do in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I still put in a little bit, but a lot of my portfolio is altcoins. Anyway, I don't want to go on a rant.
Okay, so that's to let you guys know at least where, she's the one that is the root to our cryptocurrency career, or whatever you want to call it, because, there will be some quitting jobs and this is what we do. No, but not just cryptocurrency, but, just living life. But we just invested into a miner.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do want to talk. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, tell us, a little about, or tell them, because of course I'm here as well. So tell us, I'm here to learn. So one of the purposes for this podcast is for me to learn a little bit more consistently about cryptocurrency, so therefore I can get some of the information a little bit faster, because it's something I'm really interested in right now because of NFTs and it's the future of money and just all the the other things that come along with it. But I'm really interested in, there's certain learning methods that a lot of people have. For mine, of course, is the more fun it is, the more I can make myself interested in it, and the more I can get into it, the easier, the faster I can learn, the more I can pay attention, the more my brain will grab. So excuse me, that's one of the purposes for season 2's cryptocurrency conversations in and out. We won't talk the complete season about cryptocurrency, but we will talk a lot about cryptocurrency. So this is the root of where our cryptocurrency conversation is coming from, and this was kind of keep you let you, you know, see how I'm learning. You can learn along with me if you don't know about it. And she's always doing a lot more research than I'm doing, so she's the teacher for me and for whatever, you know, whoever wants to learn. So Helium miner.
Okay, so the main purpose of this video is to introduce you guys to our first miner, and it's a Helium miner called Bobcat Miner 300. Just got it from Hong Kong. So it took about a little over 5 months. They say 12 to 20 weeks for this specific miner, but there's about 15 to 20 different companies making these miners, and it's growing every day. So a lot of them are sold out, but as more companies start producing some, there'll be more available. Anyways, so Helium. What is Helium? It's a peer-to-peer wireless network. So basically, you put up one of these hotspot miners. It uses your Wi-Fi and provides IoT devices. So IoT meaning Internet of Things devices. Things like scooters, tracking devices. Some smart buildings have like flood sensors, gas meters, different things that use like a Ring doorbell. There's a lot of different things, devices basically, that are being used every day, especially if you live in a big city like Los Angeles. And you provide hotspot internet coverage basically for these devices. I think it uses LoRaWAN, and I'm not really an expert on all of this stuff. I'm just basically...
And we're not financial advisors. This is for entertainment purposes only.
We're not giving no.
I'm just kidding, but
Stop it. So you provide coverage and you get rewards in a cryptocurrency called Helium, or HNT for short. And the great thing about it is, one, like, if most people know about mining from like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which take up like it's GPU mining or async miners, and they take up a lot of power. They heat up a lot, so you have to cool them down, and they're loud and all of this stuff. And this is only taking like a light bulb worth of power, a little bit of Wi-Fi. So it's the best way to get into it. And instead of getting cash, you're getting this HNT crypto token or coin, whatever you want to call it. Token, which appreciates all the time. Like when we first got it, it was just skyrocketing to like $11. No, it was like $15 or so, $15 to $20. It goes up and down all the time. But now it's
about 40,
a few weeks ago, it was like $50, $40, and now the whole market is taking a dip for the last few days. So it's a little bit, it's like $35, $40. But anyway, so it's always appreciating, and you can actually hold on to these tokens until it appreciates and then sell them off then, or you can stake them, which will earn you more HNT rewards, and then you can expand that way. But we'll talk about more of that stuff. I just wanted to introduce you guys to our first Helium mining journey, or mining journey in general, because I do want to get more into mining other currencies as well. So this is like the first easy one to start with. And it's getting pretty big. There's a lot of different companies building on top of the Helium network. Things like Lime, those little scooter company, Salesforce. There's a few different companies that are building on this. Anyway, you can check out information on their site.
Okay.
So the setup process is pretty easy. It'll take it about 30 to 45 minutes to fully set up. And then you should be good to go. You just leave it and it earns you basically rewards. And some of it is for like providing coverage. Some of it is being a witness to different things. So yeah, it's definitely recommended. You have to put it by a window. Make sure it doesn't have like bug screens and different things. Make sure it has good line of sight. There's a lot of different things you can do to kind of optimize your earnings, whether it's using a different antenna, different placements, creating outdoor housing for it so you can get, it depends if you live in an apartment versus a house, if you're in a rural area versus a city. So all of that is going to depend on how much rewards you're going to earn every month. And how many hotspots are around you. I think when I first bought this thing, there was like 50 to 60,000 hotspot miners out there. Today there's like 382,000, which is pretty ridiculous. So the network is growing at like 90,000 a month. So that's gonna affect your earnings. But at the same time, the currency is also, going up in value all the time. So that kind of accounts for some of the earnings you lose from having too many people around you.
That it always goes up a lot of times.
Yeah.
Value.
Yeah. So just introducing you guys to our Helium miner, and we'll do a few of these where we give you an update on how it's doing, how it's performing, and how our journey is going. But yeah, that's our Helium miner.
So what really kind of made you commit to, understanding cryptocurrency? And, was there like a certain person, or is this a certain something that you saw? Or because everybody hear about Bitcoin, even, it was for me. You had to basically hold my hand to sign me up for it. And I guess the NFTs kind of convinced me a little bit more that it's something that I'm going to have to get into, dealing with, the future and releasing music projects or selling my basketball cards or whatever as NFTs. That's kind of what convinced me. What convinced you?
I guess I felt like it was the future. I know like the currency, like physical currency is dying off, and I know things are always changing, and I just felt like this was one of those things that was like the beginning of how the future will be. And so started paying attention to it. And also, like, some people are scared that it's a volatile thing, and it scares them all that up and down it does every day, which is crazy. But for me, that's exciting, more exciting than stock market. And I guess it was just a little bit easier for me to understand than the stock market. And
yeah, because I still haven't gotten into the stock market.
Yeah, and I like the volatility. That means you can flip faster. It's high risk, high rewards type thing. I don't invest things I'm not willing to lose. So I don't know. It just something about it. And the fact that you can buy, I don't know if you can do this in stocks, but you can buy fractions. So Bitcoin right now is probably like somewhere between 50 and 60,000. But you can buy like 0.005 Bitcoin, which, is a little bit more affordable than buying one Bitcoin. Yeah. And you can do that with any of these currencies. So I do like that. You can pick your point of entry, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm not really sure if you can do that in stocks.
Yeah, there's leaves no excuse really, or
Yeah.
really cuts back the excuses of just trying it, or for anyone, even whether poor, middle class, or rich or
Yeah.
wealthy.
Especially right now with some of these altcoins that are like 0, 0, 0, 0. It's got a bunch of zeros, but at the same time, like, has a lot of potential. They have a lot of different things that they're doing, um, and it's just a solid investment. But you can get a lot of it because it has a lot of zeros, and it has a long way to go because it started maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, a month ago.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. And seeing how, like I said before, I got into it about 4 years ago, and then I'm coming back to it now. So I got a chance to see how some of these coins perform over 4 years. And now I can take some of those lessons learned into how I make my decisions now. Like the other day I was talking about Binance and crypto.com coin, which is starting to rally a little bit.
Yeah,
starting
soon
to go
be Staples Center, crypto.com arena.
Yeah. So like Binance, back in the day. So the reason I believe in Crow right now is because back like 4 years ago, Binance was just starting off and it was like 11 cents, which is what Crow was recently, until it just started going up. And Binance now, 4 years later, is like five something to $600. So in the last 4 years, it's gone up a ridiculous amount. And
so most platforms are, usually have potential to.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger platforms.
Well.
It's up there, the number 3 now in the crypto coin. And it's, yeah. So crypto.com, I believe, is probably going to perform a lot better because it's creating these partnerships, and at the same time it's becoming one of the bigger exchanges. It's one of my favorite exchanges, to be honest, because not a lot of coins are on Coinbase. There's very few coins, and if you live in the US, it's just like, if you want an exchange other than Binance that has a lot of coins, crypto.com is one of the best ones for me.
Yeah, because I'm still at rookie stage, so crypto.com is my first wallet, and I have a Coinbase wallet, and I have to get other wallets as well. But
yeah,
I'm just kind of, for those who are still new.
Especially when you're getting into some of these smaller, newer coins, they're not on some of these exchanges. And that's what you want to capitalize on, right? So, like, you want to get to them before they get onto these exchanges and start becoming bigger and bigger, and they cost more. So you might have to use things like Sushi Swap, Pancake Swap, Bitmart sometimes gets it. It's an exchange, and it gets it a little bit earlier before other exchanges. So you definitely want to get comfortable using some of these Uniswaps, Pancake Swaps, now Shiba Swaps. They allow you to get some of these smaller coins that have not made it to the exchanges, and you can capitalize on that journey.
So I'm going to keep it a little short and, sweet for the beginning crypto talk. I don't know how far you kind of wanted to get into the conversation with it.
No, I just wanted to introduce, I think the main thing was to introduce the Helium miner. We'll talk about other cryptocurrency and other subjects moving forward. We'll have other people join in on the conversation that are also into crypto and stocks and other investments as well. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us.
we thank you for joining and listening. And for those who, we got to create a link and everything for our referrals. For those who want to sign up, you get a $25 referral with Crow if you use a referral. So it's sometimes good to get a referral when you're signing up for these new wallets. And
we'll put the link in the descriptions for these referrals for crypto.com. I don't know who else gives referrals. I don't know.
Or we'll put them on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coinbase. No, but it's better to have
put them in. Yeah. So thanks again. This is episode 1, season 2, American gypC podcast. We got a lot of stuff coming. We'll also be talking about some like real estate stuff that's taking place in Mississippi to kind of connect people from Los Angeles, California, or from the California area to some of the things that's going on in the South, dealing with, investments, land, and things like that. So, stay tuned for the rest of the season. It's going to be pretty creative and informative and just prosperous. So thank you once again. I'm Klaccik Carpenta. This is American gypC. American gypC YouTube. Subscribe. And hey, click like. Thank you.
Thank you.